guys, it's SimmerDeb. Welcome to a Sims 4 venue building video. In honor of Valentine's Day, I wanted to build a place where your Sims who are in love can tie the knot. Yes, this is a wedding venue. And the name of this venue is Rose Chapel. And I will be uploading this venue to the Sims 4 gallery. So if you're interested in downloading it, just search for my origin user ID, SimmerDeb, and you should be able to find it with no problems. And this venue has everything your Sims will need to have their dream wedding. It has a piano, of course a wedding arch. It has a kitchen so your Sims can bake their wedding cake, or your caterer can cook, whichever. If you can get your caterer to show up. Or if your caterer shows up and decides that he wants to cook rather than dancing and drinking at the bar, he will have a kitchen. He or she will have a kitchen to cook in. So there is that. There are also 3 bathrooms in this venue. This is a full 2-story venue. There are 2 bathrooms downstairs, and there is 1 bathroom upstairs. And the upstairs bathroom is larger than the downstairs bathrooms. Now, none of the bathrooms have showers in them. However, I was looking at that upstairs bathroom, and if you would like to put a shower in the upstairs bathroom, it is large enough to do so. And here I am playing with the roof, and I do want to let you know that you'll see me playing with the roof more than one occasion, and neither of these roof lines are what I end up going with. Here you'll see that I've got hipped roofs on here, but I end up getting rid of those and I go with a gable roof. And I really think the gable roof looks a million times better than this hip roof that you see now. I do keep the same roof pattern, I just do change the roof style. And I'm really happy with the way the gable roof looks. It looks a lot better, in my opinion, and I hope you all think so too. If not, and you want to go back to the hipped roof, be my guest. And here I am putting in, I put in the foundation. Oh, and one thing, I am so very, very happy that there is a foundation that matches that brick pattern, because as you know, with The Sims 4, quite often things do not match. So whenever I find something that matches like that, it makes me really excited and really happy. And I am still holding out hope for a color wheel. I'm really hoping that the developers will give us one. I'm not going to give up hope. And here I am putting in a fountain. This is going to be behind the wedding arch area. And if you have watched any of my builds before, you already probably know that I love fountains. So I do put them in behind the wedding arch. And I do end up making that fountain area a little bit bigger. I kick that back wall out 1 square. And the reason that I do that is because when I go to the upstairs area, I put a bar in that end of the venue, and I needed a little bit more room to put bar cabinets. So I went ahead and kicked it out a little bit, and that made the fountain area larger. And it actually makes the fountain area look better also. Here I am laying out the area for the 2 downstairs bathrooms. And the wall on the right, I put in to put the stairs there, because I wanted to wall off those stairs, because I'm going to put a piano right to the left of those stairs. So I wanted to have a nice wall there. And I do end up putting columns right there in that foyer area to connect with those 2 walls. And those 2 walls are even when I'm finished. I know they look uneven now because they are uneven right now. But when I'm finished with it, the walls are the same. Here we go, putting in a wall pattern. And I absolutely love that cranberry red wallpaper above that white paneling. I think it looks so elegant. Now in the bathrooms and in the kitchen that's upstairs, I do a coordinating cranberry stripe over the panels, because I thought that it looked a little bit less formal, and so I thought that would be, you know, a nice little contrast, a nice little change to have the real formal wallpaper paneling, whatever you want to call it, in the wedding area, and then have the stripe in the bathroom and kitchen area. Here I go, putting in some windows. And just, okay, this area here, I'm putting in little fences because we don't have any benches or anything that actually look like chapel pews. So I thought what I would do is I would go ahead and build a little fence to make it look more like a pew. And I thought it turned out really cute, actually. I really like the way it turned out. If you decide that you want to download this venue and you don't like it, you know, you can always just take the fences out. Whatever you want to do, you can do. And here we are putting in the piano so that your Sims can have some music playing as they walk down the aisle. That is, if the musician that you hired decides that he or she wants to play the piano rather than hanging out at the bar. And this area that I'm laying out now, I'm putting this awning down. This is going to be the basis for something that will look like it's a planter box. That's why I'm putting that down, because I do put plants on top of it, and I wanted, you know, like a planter box type effect. And I am putting in the ground cover plants to fill it in and make it look nice and full, and, you know, no empty spots. I really love this ground cover, by the way. I use it all the time. It's one of my favorite plants because it does make your landscaping look finished and nice and plush and full. And then I go in and put flowers, and I've decided to use white here. All the rest of the flowers that I use in this venue are that rose color, but I thought I'd use white there to kind of tie in with the white flowers that are on the wedding arch. And here I am just putting in lighting fixtures. And you'll notice, if you've watched any of my other speed builds, and if you've watched speed builds by other builders, you've probably noticed that this speed build is not nearly as fast as most of the speed builds that you see. And the reason for that is because this particular venue only took me about an hour and a half to build, so I didn't have to speed it up all that much. So I'm hoping that it will be a lot easier for you to follow, since it is quite a bit slower than most speed builds. And here I am putting in the sinks for the bathroom. And these bathrooms are fairly small. However, I thought it would make more sense to have two small bathrooms down here rather than one large bathroom. You know, that way two Sims can go at the same time. They don't have to wait on each other. Hopefully they won't walk in on each other. But we all know how Sims like to congregate in the bathrooms, so, you know, who knows? They might go in there just to talk. That's happened to me on more than one occasion, especially at the museum. I think it's the museum in Oasis Springs, if I'm not mistaken. Almost every time I go there, the Sims like to congregate in the bathroom for some reason. It might be the Willow Creek Museum, I'm not sure, but one of the two museums. Sims in my game, I don't know, it might be different in your game, but in my game they love to congregate in the bathrooms. And here I am just putting in some lights. You won't be able to see the lights after I put them in, but I put lights on this wedding arch, and it really brightens up the arch a lot. It makes it look whiter and it makes it look better, but you cannot see those lights, so you don't really know they're in there, but the effect that you get from it really makes a difference. So I'm putting those in kind of to brighten up that area. And now I believe I'm probably going to do flowers next. Yes. I put these pedestals in, and I use this pedestal quite a bit. I absolutely love this pedestal for placing flowers on top of. And if you've ever had a gold wedding, or if you have the mod that unlocks the rewards that you get for having a gold wedding, the prize for having a gold wedding is a flower that's on a pedestal. It's a flower that's attached to a pedestal. It doesn't come off. And I think this one, when you make it yourself using this pedestal and put a flower on top of it, I think it looks a lot better than the prize flower pedestal that you get for having a gold wedding. Also, another thing that, strikes me as odd is, why would you give, for a gold wedding, the prize is that flower pedestal? Okay, so why would you give that prize for having a gold wedding when the flower pedestal is something you need to decorate with before you have the wedding? Once you've had the wedding and you've got the gold wedding, you've won the gold, what do you need that flower pedestal for now? Do they expect you to get divorced and marry someone else? I don't know. But if you did do that, why would you want to use a flower from your first wedding with, the person you're going to marry the next time around? It just makes no sense to me. I think they should have picked a different prize for having a gold wedding. And all the decorations you should have beforehand, not after, because you have no use for it after. I don't know. They should have given something for a honeymoon or something, like, I don't know, maybe lingerie, or I don't know, something different, something, not a decoration that you would need before you get married. Here we go, putting in a rug right in front of the front door in the foyer area. And I'm really pleased with the way this wedding chapel turned out. And I'm really looking forward to using it in my Let's Plays. I'm hoping to use it in my Legacy Challenge Let's Play. The oldest child right now in my Legacy Challenge, he is a teenager, but he will be a young adult soon. And I'm hoping to have his wedding here at this chapel. I think it will make a beautiful wedding, because I really do love the way that it turned out. And I really love the rose and the white colors together. And the gray floor too, I like that contrast. And I like all the white that's in there. And one reason that I'm really still holding out hope for a color wheel is I want all of my whites to match. In The Sims 4, most of your whites, they're either gray white or they're cream white. You don't have any real whites, and the whites don't match each other. Like, you'll notice that the white panels on these walls, they're the gray white, and on the bar area that you'll see in a minute. But the tables and chairs are not white, they're cream white, which once you get everything all together, and everything is said and done, it looks beautiful together. It really does. But if we had a color wheel, we could match the whites. And if they did have to be gray white, at least they would all be gray white. Or if they had to be cream white, at least they would all be cream white. And I need to pick up my little puppy really quick. She is underneath my feet. So sorry for that interruption. But she's a very, very sweet puppy, but she just loves me to death, and she wants me to hold her all the time. She's quite spoiled, as a pet should be. But sorry for that interruption. That's what I was doing, if you wonder. And here I am working on the kitchen. And I love this little kitchen. I think it turned out really cute. I mean, it's got everything you need. It's small, but it is really cute. I like it. And I like the white cabinets. And these particular white cabinets and counters are the gray white to match the white wallpaper. And there I go, putting in some little windows there. And I end up taking that one out because I put cabinets above that end of the countertops where the stove is. And of course you have to have your fire alarm, because we all know how Sims love to catch their stoves on fire. We don't want anybody burning up, so we've got to have the fire alarm. And I think I put a coffee pot, teapot. Oh yeah, I did. I already put that in. So they've got that too if they're thirsty, or if they're sleepy and they need a shot of caffeine to get through the wedding. Here I am, just, I don't know what I'm thinking about right there. Oh, this is where I'm thinking about the bar area. This is where I end up making it a little bit bigger so that I can have cabinets behind my bar upstairs. And I do that, and it doesn't recognize it as a room, so I end up having to put a room on there and adjusting it to the right size, and then getting rid of the walls that I had before. You know, I really love the way that building in The Sims 4 is much more intuitive. However, sometimes it can be a pain in the you-know-what, because sometimes the game will not recognize things as rooms when you add them on, even though they are a fully, functional room. They're joined and have everything they're supposed to have. But you can see that did make the fountain area bigger, larger. But I do think it looks better larger, actually. And here we go, upstairs where the bar area is. Just putting in. And there you see the roof. That is not the finished product roof. But you will see the finished product shortly. And that little add-on, I don't even know why I even bothered with that. Because that goes too. Do not keep that. As far as building goes, sometimes the roofs of a building, house or venue, whatever, can be the trickiest, or one of the trickiest parts of the build. It can get frustrating sometimes doing roof lines. And I'm getting ready to put the bar in. Here we go. There it is. And I do put counters. Woo! Counters and the bottle cabinet behind the bar. I absolutely love that bottle cabinet, and I do it in the red to tie in with everything. I really like it. I think it's neat looking. And what I'm doing now is I'm making little rugs where I want my tables to be for the Sims to sit and eat their cake. And just kind of laying those out and getting them spaced out like I want them, so I know where I'm going to put my tables. And then right in the middle, I do a rug to put a table on where you can cut the cake. So that's what goes there, is the wedding cake. Here we go with these white tables, which are cream white, not gray white. If you can't tell right now, you will be able to tell when you get closer. But like I said, when all is said and done and the build is finished, it all comes together very nice and everything looks beautiful together. Now, I do put the classical speakers in this venue, but if your Sims want to listen to different music, you can always change those speakers out to whatever you want it to be. I just thought that classical would probably be more fitting for a wedding. There I'm putting in more flowers. There are tons of flowers in this venue, if you have not yet noticed. I love flowers. Especially for a wedding venue, you know, that's one place that you definitely do need a lot of flowers. Every bride needs tons of flowers at her wedding. And you can see that that upstairs bathroom is big enough to stick a shower in if you wanted to do so. Here we go, putting in some little tables and more flowers. And I really like that bouquet that's sitting there on that little end table. I didn't even know that that bouquet was in the game until I did this wedding venue. I guess because it's a traditional type looking flower, and most of my house builds are modern house builds, so that's probably why I had not paid attention to it before. But now that I've seen it and have used it, I really love it, so I'll probably use it again. And here I was thinking about putting a table in the middle of the floor and putting yet another flower on it. But what I wanted was a round table like the one that we had in The Sims 3. But we don't have one for The Sims 4 yet. And I tried this column, but it just doesn't work for me. So I just decided not to put anything there. If you want to put something there, you know, you're more than welcome to. Here we go with another little end table, and I end up putting a mirror above this one, and I thought it turned out quite well. And of course I put another flower on top of that table. If there's one thing that you will not be lacking in this venue, it's flowers. I know I said that before, I'm sure I said it before, but just to reiterate, there are flowers in this venue. Everywhere. Okay. I also end up putting bar stools at that bar. At first I wasn't going to put bar stools in because I thought, well, if I put bar stools in, then people are going to be sitting there and the bride and groom might be trying to get a drink and might not be able to get to the bar, but I decided to go ahead and put them in anyway. And what I just did was I just put lights in those bottle cabinets. You can't really, they're not really noticeable once you put them in, but they do make a big difference in how the cabinet looks. It just makes the cabinet so much brighter and look so much better. Here I go putting in the window treatments. And I don't put window treatments in over those windows above the cabinets because there's nothing that would really fit there, so I just left that without window treatments. And I absolutely love that painting right there. I used it twice in this venue. I used it once downstairs beside the piano, and then of course once right there above that love seat. But your Sims won't notice. They're on two different floors. So it'd be okay. We'll be all right. And let's see what I'm doing next. More pictures. Putting more pictures in the venue. And I wish that there were more pictures. Well, you know what? I wish there were more pictures, period. But I know that we'll get more with the new expansion pack that comes out in April. But I wish that there were more with this rose color in them. We need the primary colors. We need everything that they make in this game. Every item should come in the 4 primary colors. Do you not think so? Plus white and black. So we should have red, yellow, green, blue, white, and black, and gray, and brown. Well, you know, really, just what we need is a color wheel. Just give us a color wheel, and then you won't have to worry about any of that stuff. Here I am putting a rug underneath the bar stools. And I do go ahead and put 4 in. Why not? There I am just making sure that I had the right white. And there's only one white for that table. But I just had to double check and make sure. And here I'm putting in a brick walkway for the entrance to the chapel. I'm almost done. Of course I have to put more flowers in. Surprise, surprise. Bet you didn't see that coming. And I absolutely love that marble floor that is on the porch and the balcony. Love it. Here I am putting in the bushes, the landscaping, and I do put ground cover underneath all of my landscaping because I think it just gives it a much more finished look and makes it look a lot nicer. And I have a lot of problems with doing this ground cover right here around this little curved part. But I eventually do get it worked out. What I do is I put flowers there first, and then I fill in with the ground cover because it just kept wanting to jump up and snap to the top of that foundation. And it got really frustrating. But I do figure it out eventually, thankfully. And here we go. You'll see how I've managed to deal with that problem. And now I go back and put the ground cover in after I get everything kind of lined up. And you still can't line it up perfectly because it still wants to jump up on top of that foundation. But it looks pretty good in the end, I think. I think it turned out good. And there we go with the ground cover. Absolutely love this ground cover. One of my favorite plants in The Sims 4 because it does give it that finished look. You know, it makes it look more like real life. Because I don't know about your landscaping in real life, but in real life I like my landscaping to, you know, have layers and have, well, you know, flowers and then ground cover. Well, not really ground cover, but something similar to ground cover. And then, of course, the mulch, which we don't have mulch in The Sims 3. I mean, The Sims 4, but we'll probably eventually get it. There I go, putting the lighting on the exterior. And I still haven't changed the roof yet, but I do change it. You'll see. I'm just about done. I put a few trees in. I put like 3 trees in the back and 1 tree in the front. And then I put a bench over to the left side of the venue. Instead of a tree, I do a little bench so that your Sims will have a place to sit and reflect upon the journey they're about to embark upon. And you would never guess this, but I actually put flowers around this bench. Yes, flowers. More and more flowers. Pink ones, rose-colored, light rose, light pink, whatever. And here we are. I'm finished. We are at the front screenshot, coming around to the side of the venue. I finished quicker than I thought we were going to finish. Took me off guard there for a second. But you can see the roof. That's the roof that I ended up going with, the gabled roof. And I do think it looks tons better than that hip roof looked. Here we go, back around to the front of the venue. And next we will go inside. And there's a shot through the front door. And it looks like someone is getting married. Here's another shot of the chapel area. And here's a close-up of the wedding arch area. And there is a shot looking back on the happy guests. And there's a shot of the front foyer. Here we are looking at the kitchen upstairs. And there is the wedding cake area and the bar. There's another shot from a different angle of the tables. And here we are back to the outside of the wedding venue. I want to thank you all so very, very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you had as much fun watching it as I had building it. If you did enjoy this video, please let me know in the comments down below. Please leave me a like and please subscribe. See you next time.